Hey everyone, my name's Azaria, I'm 17 years old and I'm a musical theatre student. I've been meaning to film this video now for months, but I've just been really busy with finishing college and stuff like that, so I'm finally filming it and I'm going to get it done. So, I know I've had a lot of people asking me recently a lot of questions about theatre schools and about how my auditions were and how they went. So I decided the best way to answer all of these questions was to create a video where I can answer them all at once, to kind of give advice to anyone who's planning to audition in the future, or maybe auditioned this year and is going to audition again next year, or you know. So I have all the questions in my book here which people have asked, so yeah, let's just get straight on with it, I guess. So this year I auditioned for 8 places overall. These were Bird College, ArtsEd, Mount View, GSA, Trinity, Sharp Academy, Emil Dale and Italia Conti. I decided to audition for a lot of different places this year because if I were to audition again next year, then at least I'd know what kind of places I'd be interested in. So my auditions went quite well this year and I'm really happy with the outcome of them. And I've decided that starting from September I will be going to do my degree at Bird College and I'm really excited about it. But let's just get straight on with these questions. So quick disclaimer, don't take anything I say in this video too seriously. Like, this is just me talking about my own experiences at places and you know what I gained from each place. Every single person is different when they audition. Every single person will like different places, not like different places. So yeah, when you audition you'll know what place is right for you. So yeah, just don't take what I say too seriously. This is just all my own opinion. Question 1. Which audition did you enjoy the most out of all of them? My favourite audition days personally were Trinity and Bird. This is because I just felt there was a really good atmosphere. It was like the kind of place I could see myself being at and everyone was just really lovely. And that's not saying that people weren't lovely at all the other places, because of course they were, but I think that out of all the places I auditioned for, those 2 were the place I felt most comfortable at and I felt welcomed as soon as I walked in. Obviously this will be different for every single person, but that's just a personal preference. Tips on nerves and how to handle nerves. Right, so I don't think I'm necessarily the best person to ask about that. I am the most nervous person in the world when it comes to auditioning for things. Like, I remember all my auditions, I was like a nervous wreck. But I'd say when it comes to trying to get rid of nerves from an audition, don't do it. Because like the thing is, you can use those nerves you have to help you throughout your performance. You can turn those nerves into adrenaline, and I mean, it's a good thing to have nerves if you're auditioning for something, because it really shows you care about what you're auditioning for, because you're nervous that you maybe won't get it, you're nervous that it's going to go wrong, but that just shows how much you care. Question number 3. How to speak to the people you're auditioning for. Just be yourself. Like, that's really all I can say, is just be yourself. They want to see you. When you walk into that audition room, the audition panel want to see you. And the thing is, they can tell when you're trying to act as someone you're not. They can tell when you walk in and you're trying to put on this like persona because you think it will help you. Like, they've been auditioning people for years. They want to see you, they want to see your personality, they want to see whether you're a person they want to work with. So honestly, when you're talking to people on the panel, just be completely true to yourself and you'll be absolutely fine. How do you appear confident even if you're not? I don't know. I feel like just talk to people. Because as I've said, like, I was a nervous wreck on audition days. Like, I was shaking. It wasn't fun. So I'd say just try and talk to as many other auditionees as you can, because that will make you more confident. Like, you've got to remember, everyone else auditioning is in the exact same situation as you. Like, everyone else who is auditioning is probably just as nervous as you. So if you talk to people, like, ask them how their audition's going, they'll speak to you and be like, oh yeah, like, are you nervous, are you feeling all right? And I found that talking to people and having these conversations made me feel so much more at ease, because it makes you feel like you're not alone on audition day. Like, I met some of the most loveliest people at auditions. Like, everyone was so lovely, because we all understand that we're all just as nervous as each other, and, you know, just support each other. And then you don't have to pretend to be confident, you just, you know, you just talk and you start to feel more at ease, which makes you feel more confident. That's really all I can say about that, because I don't think there was an audition where I went in and tried to appear confident. I just spoke to people and made myself feel more relaxed and more at ease, and that instantly made me feel more confident within myself. So I hope that helps. Best ways to get noticed in front of an audition panel. I've been asked this question so many times. Okay, the best advice I can give you, as I've said in a previous question, be yourself. Literally, like, I remember at my Mount View audition, I was doing the dance routine in the group of 4 at the end, and I completely forgot the choreography. Like, I'm not scared to admit that. I fully stood there for like a solid 20 seconds and did not move a muscle. Don't do that, it's not a good idea. And, you know, instead of being myself and kind of playing it off and improvising, and I just stood there because I was so, you know, shocked. I felt shocked to my core. I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? So yeah, to get noticed, just be yourself. And if you forget choreography, if you forget your song, if you forget your monologue, it doesn't matter, as long as you can show performance, as long as you can show that you have something. Like, it's not a memory test, and that's what I've been told at every single audition. The panel isn't there to, like, if you're doing a monologue, they're not there to go, actually, you got that line slightly wrong. Obviously try and not get it wrong, but if you do, just perform, just show yourself through your performance. Like, don't do what I did at Mount View and just stand there for 20 seconds. No, just show them who you are, what you can do. Just, again, like I've said for a lot of questions, sorry about that, just be yourself. That's really all they're going to ask of you. I don't know whether that helps, but I hope it does. How long do auditions normally last, and what do you need to do? So audition time is different for every place. I think my shortest audition was about 2 hours long, and that was at Arts Ed. And my longest audition was, I think, about, oh, this is a throwback, I think it was maybe 6 or 7 hours, because they did recalls in the afternoon and we had to wait to see whether we got a recall. So yeah, audition time literally depends on the place you're auditioning for. All I can say about that is make sure you bring a phone charger, plenty of food, plenty of drink, because there will be a lot of waiting. And I didn't realise that at my first audition, and my phone ran out of charge and I ran out of food and I had to sit and wait for ages. So just make sure you bring a lot of food, water, a phone charger if you need it, a portable charger, and yeah, because then you're prepared. At each place you'll probably be asked to do a monologue, a solo song, and then a dance call. Monologue and song time again depends on the place you're auditioning for, but normally it's around 1.5 minutes for each thing. And then the dance call, styles wise, it depends on the place again, because at most places I did like MT jazz, but then at places like Bird we did ballet, MT jazz and commercial, so it really just depends on the place you're going to. If you search up any places you're thinking about auditioning and click on the audition section of it, it should tell you what they want you to prepare for that place, and what you'll be doing when you get there. How do you know if the college is right for you? I was really worried about that when I first started auditioning, because I really didn't know what places were going to be for me. Like, I kind of went in to my auditions not knowing too much about loads of different places, having my mind set on like maybe one place. So firstly I'd say before you do auditions, just do a bit of research and kind of read the places you think would be suited to you. Like, read what they do on their timetable on a weekly basis, read what like accommodation they offer. Just do your research about the places you're going to audition for, because that should help you to know. But when it comes to auditioning, honestly, it's just a feeling. Like, I knew Bird was the right place for me because when I walked in I just felt instantly welcomed, as I've said, and I just felt really at home, and I was just so happy. I loved every second of my audition there. And when I left, like, I just wanted to go back. So I knew that Bird was the right place for me. Like, after that audition, I remember saying to my mum at the time that if I weren't to get in this year, then I'd re-audition again next year. So yeah, it's really just a feeling you get on the day. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but you know when you go to the shop to buy an outfit and you put it on and you're like, wow, this is, oh, I love it, I love it. It's kind of like that times about 100. That's, yeah, it's just the best feeling in the world, and you're all going to experience it at some point, I promise. How long were you waiting in between things? Also, love you. Oh, I know who this is, May. I love you too. I really do. Sorry. How long were you waiting in between things? I'll answer your question now, May. Honestly, again, this just depends on the place. I remember at some places it was maybe like a 2-hour waiting time for recalls, and then some places didn't have recalls, so after your audition you just went home. But in terms of waiting between like the acting, singing, dancing at the audition, again, just depends on the place. I don't think I can really help much there, because my waiting times are all different at every single place. So yeah, I'd say before you audition, if you really want to know, just contact the place you're auditioning and ask them so you're prepared. Just make sure you bring a lot of food and water, just in case it is a long wait and you're not 100% sure. How much preparation and practice do you do on the day of the audition? Again, I think this is different for every single auditionee. Personally, for me, in terms of the acting and singing, I didn't do too much rehearsal of my song and monologue on the day. This is just because I know that if I were to practice it and I forget the words or something goes wrong, then I would stress myself out about it. But I did make sure to do a proper like vocal warm-up before my audition to make sure that I'd be able to sing to the best of my ability. When it comes to the dance call, they teach you the routine and they go through it a bunch of times to make sure that you can try and remember it. Again, it's not a memory test though, so if you're in the middle of your dance call and you forget the dance, just go for it. Just improvise and perform and you'll be fine. But yeah, if you have any questions about the routine, just stick your hand up, because at the end of the day, they want to help you. They don't want to see you fail. Like every person auditioning, they want to be able to teach them. They want to be able to help. So just put your hand up, like, can I have some help? And they'll be like, yeah, of course. Yeah, they're literally not there to see you fail. They're not there to try and make you feel uncomfortable. They want you to feel as comfortable as you can. And yeah, there's not really much else I can say about it. Just on the day of the audition, do whatever you feel is necessary for you to do everything to the best of your ability. Was sight reading a part of any of your auditions? No, sight reading wasn't a part of any of my auditions. Obviously this could change for next year because, you know, schools are looking for different things every single year. But no, I didn't have to do any sight reading at any of my auditions. Does it matter if you're not as strong at one thing as you are at another? Not at all. Like, I am not the strongest dancer in the world. I'm going to admit that. Like, I've worked hard over the past few years to get better at it, but I'm not the strongest dancer in the world. And I would say I'm more of a singer-actor. They're not looking for a finished product. They're not looking for someone who can walk in and be the best dancer, actress, singer at the whole audition. They're looking for someone who they feel they can work with. They're looking for someone they feel that with their training they can improve. They're looking for someone that when they go in, they might not be the best person they've ever seen. Like, you're obviously not going to go to audition and be as good as the people in the second years or third years or even first year at that point, because it is your starting point. Like, they're just looking for someone that they can take and help and develop so that when you finish your third year at a place, they can look at you and be like, wow, they've worked really hard and we've trained them well and they are so much better than they were when they first came. Like, they're just looking for someone who's going to work really hard, and sure, you might not be as good at one thing as you are at another, but it doesn't matter, because it means that when you go to whatever place you get into, and when you go to your dream place, you can spend those 3 years developing not only your strengths but your weaknesses as well. What was the lead up to your auditions like? I think this is like a personal question about me, so I'm just going to answer it like that. The lead up to my auditions was, you know, it was alright. It was a bit stressful because I was trying to complete my college course at the same time, so it was like having to balance both things to give enough time for each thing. So that was a little bit stressful, but you know, I just focused on everything I needed to. I just put as much enthusiasm and energy into everything as I could. So yeah, it was a little bit stressful, but it was also really fun because I was able to extend my vocal repertoire whilst working on new monologues to see what would be suited to me for auditions. So yeah, it was quite fun. All I'm going to say is make sure you sort out your UCAS early on. UCAS, it's not hard once you know what you're doing, but just make sure you get your application done, because once that's out the way and done, things become a lot less stressful. What was the hardest part of the day that we need to be prepared for? Again, I'd say this is different for every person. Personally for me, it was making sure I was mentally prepared for if things go wrong, because I am a complete perfectionist, so I get really stressed out if I get things wrong, even though it's inevitable that I'm probably going to. So like after my Mount View audition, I was so upset that I messed up the dance round, but then I just had to sit there and I had to psych myself up, and I just had to think to myself, look, like, sure, that went wrong, but these other things went right and you can be proud of yourself for them. So yeah, the hardest part for me was overcoming the mental challenge that auditions propose, and you know, not beating myself up if things go wrong. So the only advice I can give from my perspective is to make sure you go in there with the most positive mental attitude you can, because then you're going to feel a lot more content and a lot more proud of yourself at the end of it. what is the most important thing to get ready for an audition? So obviously you've got to have your monologue and song prepared. You know, you don't want to go in there with like a monologue you learnt on the day, you know. But honestly, just make sure your bags are packed the night before. Make sure you've got all your sheet music you need. Make sure you've got all your dance shoes, your leotard, your clothes you're going to wear for your acting singing round. Because if you've got all that organised the night before, you don't have to stress in the morning. How do you find a good song/monologue for your auditions? So I actually found my song and monologue by talking to my teachers at ESPA. Like, they inspired me a lot and they gave me a lot of different options I could work with. So if you do go to a place like I went to, just ask your teachers, talk to them about what they think would be suited to you, because you know your teachers will know you just as well as you do and they know what you're suited to. But if you are auditioning and you don't go to somewhere like a performing place at the moment and you're struggling to find songs and monologues, just make sure you pick something that is age appropriate firstly. You know, because you don't want to go in and do a monologue and then it turns out to be like it's meant to be a 70-year-old woman doing it, because you know you won't play that role right now because you're not that age. But I just say, just search up on the internet, find shows you can, find plays you can take monologues from, find musicals you enjoy singing, find songs that you feel suit you and suit your personality, because that'll help you perform them better. Yeah, I'd just say search around and find things you feel comfortable performing and things you enjoy to perform. Some schools ask for a solo dance. Are you allowed to have help from a dance teacher if you've never choreographed anything before? Let me tell you, my solo dance, I did not choreograph one bit of it. I am not good at choreographing dances. Like, I'm just, like, I just can't do it. Just, if you've got a dance teacher and you want them to choreograph it, just ask them. I'm sure they won't mind. You know, just, or if you haven't got a dance teacher and you can't choreograph things and you've got some friends who, you know, maybe auditioned the year before, or you've got some friends who are good at choreographing, ask them for some help. Like, you don't have to go in with something you've choreographed yourself. Like, ask around, ask your dance teachers, ask your friends, ask someone you feel like you can trust to help you, and they will, trust me. Yeah, you don't need something you choreographed yourself, you can ask for help. What was the best part of the whole experience? I think this is the last question. Oh, it is! What was the best part of the whole experience? The people. Like, I'm so grateful for my auditions. Like, I just met some of the loveliest people ever at my auditions. Like, as I've said already, when you're auditioning, every single person auditioning is in the same place as you. Like, every single person auditioning is probably just as nervous as you, is feeling just as scared about what the outcome's going to be. So yeah, I'd say the people I met, like, it was just amazing going to a place and knowing that everyone that was there was there for the same reasons as me, and being able to talk to them and talk about my experiences at other places and their experiences at other places. It was just amazing. Honestly, it was just amazing, and it just makes you feel so welcomed, and you know, everyone's really supportive of each other. There are all these stories about, you know, going to places and, you know, people giving each other dirty looks, and you know, you're scared of that, but it just doesn't happen. Like, everyone's just so supportive, and it's just the best feeling in the world. Yeah, I loved my auditions, I can't even lie. I loved every second of them, and I know that if you are auditioning next year, or if you're auditioning in years to come, if you're preparing, you know, if you auditioned this year and you're auditioning again next year, I know that you're going to do amazing. Just keep pushing on through. Don't let nerves get the best of you, and just love every single second of it. You're all going to do absolutely amazing, I promise. Well, I just answered a lot of questions, and I feel like this video is going to be a lot longer than I meant it to be, so really sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that I answered everything you wanted me to. If you have any other video ideas you want me to do, if you want me to talk about any experiences at certain places, or you know, if you want me to talk about what monologues and songs I looked into using, what songs I did use, just let me know in the comments below. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you, and I wish you luck for everything you do in the future.